What up, people? It's your man DJ Daz, one in the building. How y'all doing on this lovely Friday evening? We are here. We are live. And we're going to make it do what it do, people, as we proceed to give y'all what y'all need on this Friday. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, look. Before we get things started, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. For all my YouTube peoples out there, for all those people watching on Instagram, make sure you hit the like to the Rap Sheet Podcast. I know we doing this right now on my other page, but it's all the same and the same. So make sure you follow what's going on with the Rap Sheet Podcast and all that good stuff. And we're going to make it do what it do while Game 4 is on. I'm going to try to navigate my attention to the special guest that I got while I'm trying to watch the game to the right of me. But welcome to the Rap Sheet Podcast, Season 2, Episode 5. Let's go. That's right. Before we bring my guest on, I just seen him pop up, I just want to take this time out to thank the legendary DJ Cool, rapper Big Pooh, my sister April Joy Matorda, and the one and only Stephen Russell Hart for being great people to interview for the first four episodes of Season 2. Now we're here, Season 2. Episode 5, and I'm about to bring my guest on right about now, and we'll get this thing cracking. And then once that happens, we're gonna, talk to the brother, and he's gonna get the introduction he deserves and stuff. And there goes Old Man River right there. There he is, right there.
Why I got
yeah. I'm gonna crack jokes. So just get ready. But in all seriousness, ladies and gentlemen, growing up in the city of Boston as a DJ, there was a lot of people who I watched just quietly just do what they do, and I would just take notes and just observe the way that they would transition and play the next record and just control a club crowd. And this is one of the guys that doesn't talk a whole lot, but doesn't have to, because he lets the skills just speak for itself. I think the only guy that I can probably relate his transitions to is that of DJ Jazzy Jeff. That's how good this guy is that you see on the screen right now. This guy's a friend, a brother, a fellow mentor, and someone that just knows how to have the ability to control a crowd and just knows what to play, when to play it, and is always 40 steps ahead of the average DJ. And I'm so thankful that he's here today to chop it up with me, to chop it up with y'all, and speak on his experiences, because there's a lot of great stories with this man. But ladies and gentlemen, kings and queens, the one and only Mr. DJ Mo D is in the building. Yes.
Thank you.
AKA Old Man River. What's going on, Mo? How you doing, brother?
Not much, man. Just got in the house. I had to do the family thing earlier. Getting ready for Game 4 tonight. You know what it is.
I'm actually watching it right now as we do this. So if my eyes shift, it's because something's happening. So, but I want to first and foremost thank you for taking the time out to do this. Like I said at the top of the interview, you're a mentor to many of us that have the drive to want to be great. But for you, when did your love of DJing start? As a fan, and then as someone who does it.
I'm actually gonna go back to, I want to say 80, 82, 83. It was actually just basically the whole hip hop things, hit up in Boston. I started out as b-boy early, back in 82, exactly 82, 83, and a couple. Four Lords, Spin City Rockers, Boston City Break.
Yeah.
At the time. We used to go around to different parties and different places and shows, and just doing our thing. I used to make routine tapes for the, I forgot which group. Oh yeah, I used to make tapes for a couple of groups, and then once I started getting hurt one too many times as far as injuries, I just did something else. We went to, a mutual friend's house to get it done. His name back then was DJ Smalls. You know him as
Aha.
you know him as Jeff Two Times. So we
So
went
it's
there,
Jeff 2 times.
he actually made the routine tape. So when we went over there and got it done, um, I was I was kind of amazed as how he was doing it. You know what I'm saying? As far as, with the turntable and stuff, and then I thought it was dope. And and then later that weekend, that was when Wild Style was released. When Wild and that scene, that epic that scene, Grandmaster Flash.
Yeah. Grandmaster Flash and Fat Five Freddy.
Yeah, once I saw that scene, I was hooked. I was like, yo, I want to do that. That's what.
Wow. So take it back to 82, 83. You saw Wild Style. You was immediately hooked. Now back in that era, back in that time frame, this is when the mixtape era was huge in the streets. No matter wherever you were from, New York, Cali, Atlanta, Boston, wherever it was. What were some of the mixtape DJs that you started listening to first? And what did you observe about, even though you weren't physically seeing them, just listening to them, what was it you observed about the way they did their thing, whether it was talking, techniques, scratches, cuts, reeling up records? What did you observe in that early beginning when you were listening to mixtapes?
You talking about when DJs was actually mixing? I bring it back to that.
Right.
I can bring it back to that. I mean, I gotta credit that to my grandmother, because every summertime me and my brothers used to spend our summers out there in New York City, and we used to listen to the radio stations. We used to record the DJs, while they were live on air. DJ Red Alert, whether it's Red Alert, Marley Marl, who else got Pete Rock, any of those DJs. But it was back then it was mostly Red Alert. It was mostly Look at that. Speak of the devil. What's up, Lino? From the floor.
Lino, what up, man? Floor Lords all day.
Yep. Yeah, so once I was, listening to that, picking up tapes and then hanging out, linking up with Jeff 2 times more. He had tapes too. So we used to listen to, practice and stuff to make our stuff better. 2 times he already had a crew called the PC Crew, which consists of him. Back then he was DJ Smalls. There was Sinbad, DJ, and Johnny B.
Okay.
We all used to do parties and stuff like that. Jeff used to get challenged in battles, and sometimes it doesn't even get to him and Jeff battling. Sometimes Jeff was like, I'm not gonna waste my time on him, so he'll put one of us on him. That's how back then. There was very few DJ crews back then. But as far as getting back to the original question on the tapes, those were the original mixtapes that I used to listen to. I used to record them from the radio when Red Alert and Marley Marl was DJing.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just now tuning in, we got the one and only Chief Rocker, DJ Mo D, who in my mind is purely one of the unsung heroes, not only in the Boston area, but just for hip hop, period. And we're going to get into more of his story as we proceed here. And you're going to find out just how legendary this guy is with everything that he's done. So in the early days, you're hanging out with Jeff, you're hanging out with these great guys and everything. When did you first purchase? What was your first pair of tables that you bought? Do you remember that day? And the mixer too. Gotta talk about the first mixer you bought.
I'm gonna keep it real. I did not purchase per se, as far as paying for it. I'll be honest with you on
Right.
that.
Okay.
I actually scored the first pair of 1200s, because during that time we was DJing off of the 220s, the Technique 220s. And not a lot of people don't know about those. Those are belt drive turntables, and the platters were like this thick. You know what I'm saying? So,
Okay.
once Jeff got his set of 12s, I got my set of 12s. It was on.
So, go ahead.
The mixer. It was a the Newmark mixer. I'm trying to remember the model number, but it was the black. No. I take it back. My first mixer was the realistic mixer with all the up and down knobs on it. Got it from Radio Shack.
Radio Shack.
Radio Newmark.
Ladies and gentlemen, hold up. If you do not know about Radio Shack, they had headphones, they had chargers, that was where we went. And I wasn't even DJing then, but that's where everybody went to grab whatever they needed to grab. Shout out to Radio Shack. All day, every day.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you still have that mixer? The very first one you ever got?
Of course not. I mean, I'm not. Believe me, if I saved every mixer I'd have, my place would look like a junkyard. Like I went through a lot of mixes.
Yeah, there's some DJ that still have like their very first mix. Like C. Scott, he still has a lot of his. Pacey Foster still has a lot of his. So people are truly keeping what they got, and that's crazy dope. But wow, that goes way back. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just now tuning in, like I said, we got DJ Mo D here. Legendary household name in the city of Boston and in other locations as well. Let's get into the radio game. When did you start doing radio?
I gotta say early 2000s. Early 2000s.
Do you remember the first?
I'm gonna say
I'm sorry.
matter of fact, the year 50 Cent first came out, when he just came out with that single Wankster. I remember that.
That was 2003, I think.
I thought it was 2002.
Okay. Was it? Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, so during that time, we just had our radio station converted into FM. So it was WIOD, AM 1090. They converted over to FM, which made it Hot 97 Boston. All right.
Nice.
They basically had like an all-star lineup right off the rip. Chubby Chub, Clinton Sparks, Flex the Iceman. Trying to make sure I got everybody. That's about it that I could remember. And
right.
Clinton Sparks had to be out for a while because he had to have back surgery, and they needed another day to cover him. So what I found out that basically Chubby Chub was talking to my man Rusty, who owned the record store, Funky Fresh Records. Shout out to Rusty and Funky Fresh Records. And you
Big
know,
up Rusty.
Yeah, so he basically went down there, and Russ co-signed me and told him, yo, you need to take Mo D in. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I got to give credit to Chubb and Rusty for bringing me in on radio, because I didn't really have you know, I wasn't really thinking about radio at first, but then once they brought me in and stuff, and I learned, you know, was learning the game from Chubb and Clinton Sparks, because I'll talk to him on the phone and stuff before the show, and you know, he'll tell me songs to play or whatever for the play. So once I started doing radio, it was addictive. I was every show half hour early, preparing my show. I was doing everything. I was doing it from late night. It was from 10 to 2 on Saturday.
Ah, the let out hours. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you mentioned two legends right there in DJ Chubby Chub and Clinton Sparks, who in my mind doesn't get the recognition Clinton deserves as a DJ, because his mixtape alone are just wow, crazy. Yeah. What is something that Clinton Sparks told you as you were starting out your radio career? What were some jewels of advice he gave you going into radio?
Like, he just told me, like, right off the rip, you just hit him with the hottest joints in the city. You know,
right.
Hit him with the hottest joints in the city, and in between that, slip in some new joints, like a sandwich. So that's
right. Ah, man. So if you're just now tuning in, like I said, we got the one and only DJ Mo D here. We're just chronicling basically everything that he has done. He's been doing this for 30 years. I know that's like the easy number to pick, but how many years have you been doing it? 30 what? 1, 2, 3 years? How many? I want to say I started
I want to say I started like 83, 84, but
Mhm.
I could definitely say getting like paid for it. I want to say, like 88. That was at a skating rink, Shebu skating rink.
Oh wow, Shea Boo skating rink, man. Shout out to Shea Boo skating rink. Yes, indeed. That's right. That's right. That's right. Big up the state Shea Boo all day. Let me see. Where can we go from here? All right. So you got the radio thing, and then you started doing now live venues in Boston. It is hard to play a venue in Boston, especially when you're not really known, but it's even harder when you are known and they have a certain expectation of you because they've heard you play on the radio or they heard your mixtapes or whatever. When you're playing live, what is your goal when you play a venue? Because every venue is different, every audience is different. What is your goal when you do live events?
I mean, the goal is for what every DJ does: kill it, have the crowd talking about the event for months until the next event. That's
Right.
that's what it was. You know what I'm saying? And like, you got to remember the reason it was very hard to get into a lot of these venues. You got to remember, it's not through the owners. It's through whatever promoter is whatever promoter that's working at. You know what I'm saying? So if the promoter
Yeah.
know you, if the promoter doesn't know you or heard of you, he's not gonna look at you. So
Yeah.
the thing is to get noticed by the promoters. That's how
Mhm.
once you get noticed by the promoters, then you go from there. Whether it's slipping them a tape that you did or invite them to a party for free that you're doing, that's how
Mhm.
you get noticed.
Yeah, that's exactly it. DJs do take notice. It is okay if you're beginning your career to do a free event or two when they don't know who you are. Keep that in mind. It's okay. It's okay if you're just starting out. Every DJ's had a bad experience at an event. Can you recall one time where things didn't go so well, and how did you handle it?
Uh, that's a hard question because I really can't recall any bad nights,
Mm-hmm.
especially like I like to have like extra stuff in my bag just in case something happens, like for needle breaks. I think you recall you.
Let's not go into that story.
Well,
Let's not.
anyway,
Oh man. All right. Ah. Go ahead.
don't
Go
worry.
ahead.
I'm not. I'll let you tell the story. I'm not saying nothing.
No, no. You go ahead. Go
I'm just,
ahead.
every DJ has to be prepared. Like your bag have to be like your toolbox. Extra needles, extra cables. I mean, these days I have an extra USB cord, um, all types of stuff. Just extra random stuff that you have because you never know, something might fail. You never.
Ah. I
But
knew you were gonna bring that up. I knew it. I knew it was coming. I knew it.
I don't really remember having a bad night. I'm not bragging or anything, but I really can't recall a bad night.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Mo D just quietly brought up a night that I really try to forget a lot. But since he slipped that on in there, very strategically, I might add,
That was
let's, yeah, you know what, whatever, Mo D. I'm gonna give you that one. I'll give you that.
that
Great
was
job. Great strategic move. Way to pull that in. So here's what happened, ladies and gentlemen. This was at the world famous Dublin House. Salute to Yez, who gave a lot of DJs their start, and a lot of us have played there multiple times. So salute to that. So this one particular night, I was just hanging out. It wasn't even my night, and Mo was like, "Yo, Daz, you want to play a few records?" I'm like, "All right, sure, why not?" He was already playing old school stuff, so I fit right in. And then and this was still when DJs were using needles. This is before the Phase era and the Serato era and all that. So somehow, some way, the needle that he had stopped working. It didn't catch the groove of the record, and I'm just like, okay, my bag's not with me because I have extra needles, but I can't run around the corner right now to go grab one because I'm in the middle of it. And when he found out, he was heated. I looked at this man's face. I'm like, oh shoot! If he talks about this publicly, I'm never ever gonna play nowhere because they're gonna look at me as But I said to Mo, I was like, look, I owe you this. I'm gonna get it to you. And I like to keep my word. That's the first thing about me. If I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna get done. And Mo didn't have to chase me down, nothing like that. We met up and I gave it back to him literally like what, a week later?
Yeah,
Less than that.
it was about a
And Mo and then Mo came up to me and Mo said to me, he's like, you know what? Yo, you just earned crazy points because there's so many times when DJs say they're gonna do something and don't do it. I now know that you are not one of those people. And that's basically how we started our friendship
yeah.
that particular night.
Have to call you or chase you down. You actually met up with me and was like, bam, here's your needle, just like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel that goes a long way. More than just doing any gig or anything. If you know you were wrong and you owe somebody something, just do it. I mean, it was what needles were like what an extra 30 something. It was like it was just the principle of the matter that counted. That way, you knew I could be trusted from that moment on.
Right.
So that was that. So, but that was a bad night, and thank God we don't have to worry about needles now and everything like that with phase and everything. But yeah, that moment I survived it, and we're still here. Shout out to Jules who just tuned in. Um, Everyone checking out Mo D right now, the legendary Chief Rocker. Speak on Scratch Vision. Now, before we get into that, shout out to the legendary DJ Scratch.
Yes.
Not too many DJs do routines that really captivate me as a fan of just watching the visual presentation. But Scratch is one of those guys that just every single time, just when he does the pick it up routine, pick it up, pick it up,
Mm-hmm.
pick it up, pick it up, and he stays on beat. That's just so dang dope. But he started Scratch Vision, which basically gives DJs who are already like solidified know what they're doing. I mean, you, Russell Peters, DJ. Oh, I mean, I could just premiere Pete Rock, the Invisible Scratch Pickles, the Executioners, anybody and anywhere that someone has been on Scratch Vision. How did he approach you to do Scratch Vision?
You know what? It wasn't even like he didn't even like approach me. What it was, he sent out an email to a lot of Scratch Vision members. Let me just tell you Scratch Vision first. Scratch Vision is a platform created by DJ Scratch. It's an app you could download on your phone or computer. That plays music 24/7, and you could even join and become a member. It even has it's like a social media for, I don't want to say social media for DJs, because even people that like music is even members of Scratch.
Yeah.
So once you log, it's basically you'll hear music right off the rip. It's like a radio station, and
Yeah.
certain days are scheduled every week. I have a show every Wednesday called Way Back Wednesday. So Way Back Wednesday, it's on from 8 to 9 o'clock. You hear like the latest and greatest, from back in the day. Like right now, tonight on Fridays, 8 o'clock, you got the Awesome 2. Those of y'all that, real hip hop heads know who the Awesome 2 is. Special K and K.
Yeah.
They have a show on there every Friday night, 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock is DJ Scratch. He's on there. Actually, he's on there now. He's on there from 9 until 11. And I believe 11 o'clock, I forgot his name, but he's from Queensbridge. He plays nothing but Queensbridge music. DJ Hot. DJ Hot Day. He's a legendary DJ from Queens. So he plays stuff from 11 o'clock. So, I mean, that's what it is. Like I said, if you log on, download Scratch Vision on the app, computer, whatever it is, and just rock out and enjoy.
Right on, right on.
Yeah. So he
now you love.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Let me finish. But he basically sent out an email, to other DJs, other members that were DJs, and said if you would like to have a time slot on Scratch Vision, send us a mix, and we'll let you know what's up. I sent in my mix like 48 hours later, got the reply back, and it says DJ Scratch loved your mix. He wants to set you up a time slot. And he gave me the time slot from Wednesday, 8 to 9. This is like going on, I want to say 4 years now.
Wow. Okay. Shout out to that. Shout out to that. Deserves some applause, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, sir. Oh man, congratulations on that. So, what music do you now? For those that have never seen you play live or heard you on Scratch Vision, you are the embodiment of old school hip hop. What are your 10 favorite records to play?
You said 10? All right.
10. Yep.
So
You gotta think about this one.
not in any order. Not in any order. We're gonna start off Sucker MCs. I always loved Sucker
Okay.
MCs. Sucker MCs was like my first record to practice off of. Sucker MCs. Um, Nobody Beats the Biz. Eric B for President. I Know You Got Soul. Um, EPMD. So what you're saying? EPMD. You Got to Chill. How many was that so far? Let me
That's
see.
5.
There's more. Peter Piper. Rock the Bells.
Mm.
Oh man, there's more.
I'm just waiting to see if you play 2 that I've seen you actually play a lot. There's 2 that I'm waiting to hear. I'm gonna see if you mention them.
I'm trying. It's so many records I be playing. Um,
Can I mention 2 of the ones then? Gangstars, you know my steeds,
yeah, yeah.
and Murdergram. You love playing Murdergram.
Well, I mean, that's just the play. I'm talking about play and then do my little tricks.
Oh, do your routines? Okay, okay.
Yeah. So,
I see.
um, oh,
Then Gangstar, you know my C should be one of them because I've seen you do the routine where you go the the real. I saw you do that first. Yep.
I'm trying to remember that other. Oh yeah, that other Gangstar joint. Full
Full
clip.
clip.
Yeah.
Full. Yep. Yeah.
Full
Yes. 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 All right. I think that was 9. Just one more record. One more.
Shit. Check the Rhyme. Tribe Called Quest.
Rest in peace, Five Diggy Dog. Absolutely. Great records. Every last one of those definitely deserves some cheers. That's right. That's right. That's right. This leads me into my next question then. One of the main components of a DJ is playing for rappers. And going back to Wild Style, Grandmaster Flash had the Furious Five, Jam Master Jay had Run DMC, but DJs would just play for a multitude of rappers going on the road. You have done that a lot. Anywhere from Acrobatic to Smith and Wesson. Please correct me if I'm wrong in any of these names. Definitely Edo G, Master Ace. What is it about going on the road with these legendary names that just brings another, what's the word? Another attractable element to that of the culture of DJing? What is it about you seeing these artists doing their thing and you're like, I'm really playing for Master Ace right now. Like, I never thought this would happen. Explain explain the elements of it, and who were some of the other artists that you played for that I did not mention?
You forgot Mr. Lift. Mr. Lift.
Mr. Lift.
Yep.
Yes, yes.
Well, that's another skill in itself. A lot of this, I believe it's like a lost art. Fortunately, DJs like myself, Jeff Two Times, Chubby Chub, there was a certain style to DJing for rappers, especially if the rapper is like very, very skilled. Like you can play a certain beat. Because back then we was using break beats for rappers. You know what I'm saying? If a rapper say what's a break beat, but back then we was using break beats. So if you were skilled enough, whoever was emceeing at that time, you could actually switch that break beat to another one, on time without the rapper messing. That's a skill in itself. But touring, my first tour was with Edo G and Master. They did an album together, and they had they had like a 22 city tour in 30 days. So I was running with them, and I was getting my experience, through them, because you got to rehearse. You know what I'm saying? That's the
Yeah.
one thing. And what's crazy is when we didn't even rehearse. We was like formatting our show when
Hmm.
when Ace and Ed came to my apartment, and that was the day that Michael Jackson passed away. That was
Ooh.
that was
Ooh.
we was just talking about what type of music we want to set up in the lineup, and when
Hmm.
we found out that
Wow.
Michael Jackson passed away at the time.
Wow. Yeah, that's kind of hard to focus on a tour when someone that impactful, and he wasn't even a hip hop artist, still just like made you really stop and was like, damn, like this guy was the soundtrack to our childhood. It's, man, like, wow, what? Man, that just made me stop for a second. Oh, I had to get back on track.
That's why
Um,
I can never forget that day. If somebody was to ask me, "What was you doing when Michael Jackson passed away?" I'd have been like, "I was in the house with LOG
um,
setting up the show."
yeah, man, yeah. So, whoa, that's kind of hard to go from that because that right there is just, I mean, the king of pop is rest in peace, Michael Jackson. So while dealing with that unfortunate news, you guys are preparing for this tour. And for those that don't know who Ed OG and Master Ace is, I'm not gonna. I will be here for years talking about their respective catalogs. Just look them up.
You
They
need
both come from,
you need your
huh?
pop card revoked if you don't know who they are.
Right. If I tell you Juice Crew and you don't know who they are, yeah, you don't need to be in this conversation. Just go. You're on timeout for the moment. But working with those two legends, especially that of Master Ace, because Master Ace is just the creme de la crop when it comes to live performance. What did you gain? What experiences did you gain um, from touring with them and seeing how masters at their craft work? I know you spoke on it lightly, but while on the road, what was it that you saw? Like the crowd interaction. Did you know when to come in? Did you try new things that weren't rehearsed that you thought might work on the spot? Like what did that experience bring you overall? And the confidence? How much confidence did you have after all that was done? To say, if I can do it for them, I can do it for anybody.
Oh, of course. Yeah, the confidence level went up, like went up.
Yeah.
It just went up. One thing is you got to learn about touring. Touring isn't the way you think it is. You got to remember,
Hmm.
every city, every country has different types of food. So don't just go into another city or country and be able to eat that particular food. Um,
Hmm.
Also, a lot of people like to drink, like to smoke weed and all that other stuff. Um,
Hmm.
it's cool if you have like an off day, but if you're trying to drink every night,
Yeah.
that's no good either. Because
No.
I learned that early. Like but you know what I'm saying? You got to remember, you come to the city, go to your room, set up your stuff, go to the venue, sound check, go to the room, rest, showtime, knock the show out, great show, go back to the room, got to get up early to go to the next city. So you got
Yeah.
yeah, you know how
Yeah.
they say it's better to stay ready than to get ready. That's how it works.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
you,
absolutely.
you have to stay ready.
Hmm.
That's the one thing.
Absolutely. Um, a little deeper question just to ask, because you spoke on Michael Jackson not that long ago, and over the course of the last 2 decades, we lost a great slew of legendary names. Some you may have interacted with, some you may have just been longtime fans of. Which one hurt you? Which one affected you the most, and why?
You know what? I gotta say, two. I gotta say, hmm. First one was Biggie. That messed me.
Okay.
Biggie. The first one was Biggie. That messed me up.
Hmm.
Second one, gotta say, Biz Markie that one messed me up too. That one messed me up. And say the third one. Third one was recent. K Slade. That one messed me up too.
Yeah. Rest in peace to Drama King, K Slay. And I'm gonna mention two names that you didn't mention, not because you didn't want to overlook them or whatever, because you just thought of who you thought of on the spot. But where were you when Jam Master Jay died, and how did that affect you? And where were you when Rock Raider passed away?
Oh man, I gotta say with Guru, I gotta say Guru too. We can't leave him out. That one,
Absolutely.
because that almost forgot. I shouldn't have forgot, but that one messed me up too. But
Mm-hmm.
Master J, that was crazy. I'm trying to remember what year was that.
Wow, that is a good question. I want to say 2002, but I'm going to actually look right now. But while I'm doing that, speak on what Jam Master Jay meant to you as a DJ. Hey, did you ever get a chance to meet him in person? If so, what did you all talk about?
Yeah,
Speak on that while I look this up.
he actually came to the radio station. Run DMC had a show in Boston at the time because they was performing with Aerosmith.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, it was that same year. It was the same year because one thing I learned about him is showmanship and professionalism. Those are the things I
Yeah.
learned from Jam Master Jay.
Yeah.
Performance and professionalism.
To answer your question, he died in 2002.
Yep.
What a coincidence! Isn't that kind? That's like when you
That was when I
got
first started
started.
radio because
Yeah.
that year when I first started radio, I met a lot of people. Like I said,
Mm-hmm.
Jam Master Jay and Run DMC came to the station. Guru came in there.
Mm.
Static Selector was in there, but Static Selector came through there in there too. But he was working on the station with us. But
Yeah.
he was touring with he was working with Terminology at the time. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And him and Term came through. Shout out to Terminology.
Big up Terminology. Yes.
Trying to remember who else I met through that year. Busta Rhymes. There were so many people I met at that. It was crazy.
Yeah. That's right. So you spoke on Jam Master Jay being an entertainer. For me, and I wasn't DJing back then. I was still on my rapping phase, but just to watch him basically be the centerpiece for a hip hop group. He was my first introduction to that. Him and Terminator X were my two introductions, and I couldn't have just to watch him control Run D and the audience at the same time, being on cue, making sure everything was right. And like you said earlier, you alluded to earlier, you have to have backup just in case something fails. And for us today, for all you DJs that are new, been doing it 3-4 years, God bless y'all. But for the DJs that have been doing it 10, 15 plus years, we got to have things like an extra computer now, or an extra cord, or even sometimes a backup mixer, because anything and anything can go wrong. Like,
Yeah.
this is a very expensive craft we're in. Absolutely. For you, who's been doing it for so long, what keeps you motivated
What keeps me motivated?
after
Knowing that
30 something years?
what keeps me motivated is basically knowing that I can still do it. Basically, that's what keeps me motivated, and knowing that I'm still relevant. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? So
Yeah.
and then whenever party I do or event that I do, I make sure I do it 110% and make sure I give the people a good time.
Right. Absolutely. And you definitely do that. What are some upcoming events that you've got coming up that the people should know about?
Let's see. Oh, next weekend. Next weekend I'll be spinning up at the Juneteenth celebration up at Franklin Park over by the Shack.
Okay.
And then that night, actually no, the next day, I'll be at the Seaport District at the Westin,
Okay.
where Laugh Boston is. I'm doing a We Love the '90s event. I'm doing that.
Ah,
And
that's
also,
your era right there.
yeah, and I still have my Saturday night residency over at Zuzu Lounge. It's called the Get Down. That's where I
To
play.
get them.
Yeah, that's where I play a lot of stuff from like '70s and early '80s. So you'll hear like disco, soul, funk. You'll hear those joints.
Mhm.
That's all you'll hear.
What is your favorite genre to play? Both whether you're just doing it at home or when you're out and about. What do you like to play mostly?
I gotta say hip hop. Hip hop,
Okay.
hip hop and funk. Hip hop and funk. Those
All
are
right. All right.
like play the most.
Off subject, brother. I need some of your stems because I'm jealous of some of the stems you got that I wish I had. Uh, can we do a trade for trade here?
Listen, I don't I don't listen. I wish I was some of these DJs that got all these acapellas and stuff. I don't have
Mhm.
as much as you think I do.
Mm.
I mean,
I was only asking.
I got
Well, I first of all, I find that hard to believe, but I'm gonna go with it. But I was asking that for a reason. It's just when a DJ when you get approached by someone that's saying, "Yo, can I get this crate? Can I get that crate?" Whether you know them or not, what is your response to that? Are you willing to do that? Some are, some are not. I know it takes a lot to build a crate. I mean, for us who've been doing it forever, our crates are extensive. We constantly build them, and we put in a lot of work to establish these. What do you say to someone that will ask you for a crate of your '90s stuff or your '80s stuff? Are you willing? Are you not willing? Like, how do you respond to that?
um depending on who it is,
Hmm.
get ready to spend some money. Simple as that.
Fair to say.
I'm not
Fair to say.
just gonna give up, a lot of stuff that I've, that I've hunted down and just give it up
Yeah.
like that. That's crazy.
Right.
Don't do that.
Exactly. Yeah, you just can't do that. I'm different. If I know you, like if you or Drew or Dex or someone like that, I'm like, yeah, come on, you my guys. That goes without question. Because we've played events together. You know, I know your pedigree. You know mine. It's fine. But you can't do that for everybody, and that's a real statement right there. Um, when it's all said and done, and we don't know when that's going to be. You don't know when you're going to do your last event. I don't know when I'm going to do mine. When you look back at it all, what do you want your legacy to be as DJ Mo D?
Um, I want to say one of the hardest working DJs in the city.
Hmm.
I don't even want, yeah, one of the hardest DJs. I consider myself like a blue collar DJ. I'm technically sound, and you know what I'm saying.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
professional.
Um, we have a slew of DJs that are out now. I don't want to say DJing is a young man's game, but we have a lot of young bucks out there that are good at what they do. Who are some of the DJs that you are a fan of, whether they're from Boston or wherever they're from? Who are some of the DJs that you like right now?
Let me see. I'm trying to figure it out. I mean, it's still my same like top five, man. Jazz
Hmm.
Scratch, Cash Money. Oh my God. This is tough. Let's see. Yo, Red Alert is still killing it.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah, because
absolutely.
he has great selections. Um,
Hmm.
who else? Mr. C. Um,
Yeah,
Ted Smooth.
yep,
Um,
yeah.
Boogie Blind. Um,
Okay,
Scratch Bastard. Um,
yep,
J. Period.
yep. J period, absolutely, yep.
I forgot another one. Um, oh my God. Oh, Technician and DJ and Kid Capri. That's it.
Oh man, technician to DJ, Lord, Lord, Lord. That versus we, yeah. Let's not even go into that. Absolutely. Locally in Boston, we have a lot of there's a lot of great DJs that are up and coming or have been in the trenches just like you have. Who are some of the local DJs that either you're a longtime fan of or maybe new faces that you've seen for the last 3 or 4 years, that really, that say, okay, they got it going on. Who does Modi look at there?
Let me see. Jeff Two Times. DJ Drew Nice. Dex. DJ Dex. Um,
Yep,
DJ Nice. Um,
yep,
mm, Nestle Quick. Um,
absolutely.
trying to think. Oh, Babyface. My guy Babyface. Um, trying to think who else. Who else?
Don't
Oh,
forget Rusty.
well, I don't
He
consider.
was a DJ at one time that
Yeah,
did radio too.
but he doesn't. He'll tell you himself. He doesn't consider himself a DJ no more. You know what I'm saying?
Fair to say.
Uh, you know what? DJ Slayer,
Okay.
like Slayer. Slayer,
Yes.
Slayer is putting in work on the low, like quietly, but he does a lot of after hour parties, a lot of after hour gigs. The after hour
Yeah.
gig, the after hour gigs are very demanding and difficult to do because like late night doing the late night parties, you got to worry about the police shutting your shit down, or some drama happening. Slayers
Yeah.
Slayers putting it down as far as after hours set.
Yeah. Slayer is that guy. He definitely is a boss. I'm also going to add Real P as well, DJ Real P as well. I really like what he's doing.
I gotta go to one of his gigs because every time when Real P's doing something, it's like I'm busy that night. I'm doing something else, so I gotta
Right.
go to one of his spots.
When you do, let me know because I went to one of his silk parties and I was impressed at the whole production. It was smooth as silk, and yeah, he's got something really good happening. So definitely shout out to the man, DJ Real P. Absolutely. In closing, I'm sure you get approached, or maybe even if you don't get approached, but I'm pretty much going to assume that you've been approached by up and coming DJs asking you for advice or tidbits on how to be relevant in this game. What is it? What is advice you'll give to the next generation DJ that's going to precede us when we're done?
Be humbled. Be humble. That's it.
Yeah, yeah,
Be humble. Let your work speak for itself. Simple as
yeah.
that.
Can't get any clearer than that. Are you DJing for KRS-One tomorrow? I heard he's going to be here.
No, he's already. They changed the date. He already performed. He's here. He's here for 3 days. He was here yesterday because what happened was it rained. It rained so
Oh,
they changed around everything. So last night, he did a meet and greet over at
okay.
over at Black Market. Today was the block party. They did the block party down at Nubian Square, aka Dudley Square, over
Hmm.
by that Black Lives Matter mural where Alpha and Omega used to be. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Uh-huh.
yeah. I couldn't make it there, but I believe that DJ Deck stayed that at that event. I don't know who else was there, but I know he was there last night for the meet and greet. So I there today,
Okay.
and
All right, cool.
matter of fact, he's doing a symposium tomorrow as well.
Okay. All right. All right. Wow, everything got pushed back up. I was going to say, because I know you should be DJing for KRS-One. That right there, you'd be
Yeah,
perfect for that. You played for him before, haven't you?
at the
I
Middle
know
East.
we've done a few shows together where we hosted KRS.
At the
So
Middle East.
yeah,
I actually opened up because his son DJs for him.
yeah,
Yep.
that's
His son,
right. He does. Yeah, that's a good memory. I forget all these things. Um, I'm just gonna end on saying this. And I usually like to end my interviews by giving uh, people their flowers. So I want to thank you um, first and foremost for being a mentor to me. Um, we don't really talk a whole lot. I observe mostly just by watching. Truth be told, I never said this out loud. I never had one DJ lesson. I would just go to clubs and just watch. That's how I learned, just
yeah,
simply by going
that,
and watching.
that's how I learned. That's how I learned. You can't like when it comes to DJing, you can't learn by talking or what's the word I'm looking for? Talking or writing things down. You gotta be there. Like you gotta
Yeah,
follow that particular DJ around at different events. Um,
yeah,
look at videotapes. Well, I'm saying videotapes. You might as well look at you video.
right. Um,
I'm saying my age.
yeah, right. We're from the days of videotapes and before YouTube and all this. We had to either see it or just go over someone's house and they just happen to have it on video. Um, but I just want to give you your flowers for showing me the correct way to do certain things. I'm still a work in progress after 20 years. I'm still a work in progress, but I want to thank people like you and Drew and Dex and Flex the Iceman and so many other great legends that took the time out just to help show me things. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell y'all something else. And I can say this while Mo's here because I did this for him. It's okay to carry people's records when you're trying to break into an industry. It's okay. I carried, see, we're from the crate era. We carried crates, whether it
Yeah,
was milk crates or the big recycling bins. We're from that era. And I didn't know how a 140-pound guy back then could carry these heavy ass records up 3 flights of stairs to this place, that place, this place. But if that's what got me in the door to learn, I was all for it. Because I would get to watch craftsmen at work that loved what they did. And I truly want to thank you for opening your door to me whenever you did, showing me things, and not in an embarrassing way. You was like, this is how you properly do it. And it's okay to, and he did that for me because, he was at the position where he started out. And I'm sure he had people that were above him that he looked out to. So thank you for being one of those guys that was humbled and took the time out to help me get to where I am right now. So I thank you for that.
no problem.
And I'm sure a lot of other DJs do the same thing because sometimes I say to myself, where would I be without the Chief Rock of Modi or a Dex or a Drew or a Junior Rodigan or a Chubb? You guys are the greatest teachers that a guy could ever have. So thank you for being that. Let people know how they can reach out to you, social media, and talk about the next couple of events you got. Again, go for it.
So you can reach me at on IG, of course, at DJ Modee, DJMOEDEE. And believe it or not, I still use Facebook, so you can reach me on as Modee as well, MOEDEE. Twitter, same thing, DJ MOEDEE. The events I got coming up tomorrow night, I'm at Zuzu Lounge every Saturday. It's called the Get Down. Play a lot of disco, soul, and funk. Next week for Juneteenth weekend, I will be at Franklin Park, DJing a set up there for Juneteenth. And
Okay.
Sunday night, that next night, well, not the next night. It is no, sorry, it is the next night. Sunday
Yeah.
night, I'm at over at the Western, over by Seaport District, with alongside Rodigan and Drew Nice doing the We Love the '90s party. You know,
That's
so
gonna be
that's
gonna be dope.
that's what it is for this month.
So Sunday, are you playing hip hop or are you playing R&B? Which one are you doing?
I think I'm gonna do some R&B.
Okay.
That We Love the '90s.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell y'all. Next Sunday, be at this We Love the 90s spot. Unless you already got a place to go, then that's fine. But if you are free and you don't know where to go to this event and watch this brother go through R&B joints like nobody's business. So if you're a SWV fan, Ashanti, Aaliyah, Janet Jackson, Mary J. Blige, and so on, this guy's got you. Trust me. My friend Ronice is in the comments saying, I'm going to be there. So people know. Trust me, you are going to enjoy yourself. And salute to Drew Nice and salute to Junior Rodigan. This is a night where all three DJs are top tier, and they're going to show and prove and show you why. So make sure you're there. Mo D, thank you once again for taking the time out to holler at a brother and share your vibes and your experiences with everybody tuned in today. I appreciate you. You are one of a kind. Thank you.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, don't forget, catch me Wednesday, Scratch Vision, way back Wednesday. So make sure you download the Scratch Vision app. It's
Right.
24/7. But catch me 8 to 9 every Wednesday night, Scratch Vision.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. There you go right there. This right here is the Chief Rockham OD. This right here is a legend, an icon, a man that knows what he's doing and does what he knows. And if you don't know, now you know, Knuckle. I had to get hard one time. Thank you so much, brother. This has been Rap Sheet Podcast, episode 5. We got the Chief Rockham OD signing off. Wait, one last question. Do you still do mixtapes?
Actually, I'm gonna start doing them. I'm gonna start doing some again, but they're gonna be. It's different. Everything's different now, so I guess I'm gonna be putting them on USB drives. That's
okay. Are you gonna do just like R&B ones, hip hop ones? You're gonna do some blend ones, like what? Because there was a time, and I'm gonna bring this up because this was fun. This was a time when you and Jeff were on Instagram and y'all were playing like remix blend, y'all. Man, I didn't know Mo D had remix mashups. I didn't know this.
Mm-hmm.
Why you keeping secrets from me, man? I thought we was cool like that, man.
Those are surprises for whenever I'm DJing. So whenever I'm DJing stuff, I'll slip something in there and catch somebody. Oh my God, what's that?
Yeah, man. I thought blending was done because Clinton did it for a while, and it kind of faded out in Boston. So I can't say I wanted to bring it back. I always wanted to make blends for myself, and I didn't know if there was anybody else in Boston doing it or even had them until I heard you and Jeff going blend for blend. I'm like, wait, these brothers have all these blends? I want them. I want to be down with this. Can I join in and play some of mine? My last question will be this, and what is it about now, for those that, okay, first of all, mashups, for those that don't know what a mashup is when you take an acapella and blend it with a different type of beat. And sometimes multiple beats, depending on what the acapella is. Mm-hmm. It's a lost art that doesn't really get talked about. Shout out to Ron G and DJ Juice, who in my mind were the front runners in the blend game for me. Mo, I don't know if you agree with that or if you know someone that I did not mention, but when it comes to blending.
You got to add Dirty Harry to the mix.
DJ Dirty, wow, DJ Dirty Harry, forgot about that guy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But for you, when you created your blends, what was, I don't want to say what your ultimate goal is, because obviously it's just to create something that's so catastrophic and out of this world that people would just be like, I need that. But how creative were you with your blends, and when we ever get to hear them, which you still let me hear them. No, you're keeping that from me. But when people get to hear them, what will be your story when you come out with your blends, when you unleash them?
I mean, a lot of people like to get the wow factor, you know, that wow factor. I just want to,
Yeah.
just create a different vibe. That's all it is. I don't want
All right.
to in the force just because it's different. I want to create a vibe where it's like, okay, this is the shit right here. You know?
Yeah. Amen to that. Amen to that. All right. So we will wait for those blends. And I will do a blend mixtape. I would love to do one with you, but I guess we could talk about that off air and stuff like that. It'd be an honor and a pleasure. But for this moment, thank you again, just for taking the time out to share your whole career in the span of 45 minutes for everybody and everybody. You're truly a legend. Keep doing what you're doing. And it was a pleasure to do this with you. And thank you again for taking the time out, Mo. I appreciate you, brother. Yes. All right, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, Rap Sheet Podcast is done. I'm going to let this man go so we can go catch the rest of the game. Right now, it's 28-27. Boston's up by 1. Just giving you the heads up right now.
I was going to ask you, too.
All right, man. So, God bless y'all. I'll see y'all again next week. Mo D, thank you. And I'll hit you up during the weekend, talk to you about some things.
All right, salute.
All right, brother. Salute. Yes, sir.